We're back. I'm your host, Hassan Aline.
Coach Carl Williams.
And we're talking about, I think we're right there with Donald Trump, 45. It's a fight. We've always said on this station that it is a fight between the ruling class, the oligarchs, those group of people that really run in America. And I know, Youngblood, you're going to say, well, how do you keep saying that? How are you saying that it's some kind of secret group that's running America? Well, I don't know how secret it is. I know we're not aware of who the people are. And I know most people, the old school, young blood, everybody, millennium, said the Pledge of Allegiance of the flag in elementary school, didn't they? And most of us can still remember it because we said it every day for 6 years.
Yeah.
Huh?
Longer than that.
Longer than that. You said, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic. What republic? The word "and" means addition. Addition. In addition to. Addition to the United States of America, you have a republic. And some people call it the secret society, the New World Order, the unseen hand, the King Alpha's plan. They got all kind of names. But the one thing about it, we don't know who these people are. Common folks don't know who they are. But we are pledging our allegiance to them all the time, every day. At the football game, you got to stand up and say the Pledge of Allegiance, don't you? You got to state that, stand for the national anthem. Okay. So we don't know who these hidden people are, but they're there, and they're in a fight. And they were fighting against the George Bushes, who represented one of the wings. Let's say there are two wings, maybe three, but they're in a fight for control. They didn't want a dynasty. They claimed the Kennedys had a dynasty. Kennedys never had a dynasty. One Kennedy was president, and he got shot and killed. He was assassinated, never got out of the full term. Now, Donald Trump and the country is aware of that. Let me see. Kennedy was killed openly. There were other people assassinated before Kennedy, but all this kind of hush-hush, we didn't know about it. Either McKinley or Harding, maybe both of them. One of them was an attempted assassination. There's a president named Chester Arthur. It's like we never had heard of him because he took somebody, one of the presidents was assassinated, place. And I didn't get a chance to look it up, but y'all can look it up. All you got to do is say Google who was the president before the vice president. What did I say? Arthur Chester? Chester Arthur?
Chester Arthur.
It might be Chester Arthur. One of them guys you never heard of. You just happen to, it comes out somewhere. And but anyway, getting back to this assassination thing. So Nixon was ran out. When you think about Nixon, they didn't shoot Nixon. Nixon agreed to leave. And then there was Gerald Ford, who was Nixon's vice president. It was two attempts on his life.
That's right.
Two attempts on his life. Ronald Reagan, their favorite, the conservatives loved Reagan, but somebody didn't like him. They tried to kill him. There was an attempt to assassinate Ronald Reagan. Now, what about the guy, Hinckley? He's still living. He didn't get, well, he didn't give him the death penalty, but Ronald Reagan didn't die. Maybe that was it. But he'd been out on house arrest for a long time. We didn't know he had supervised house arrest, meaning he went home and he stayed the weekend with his mother and father, family. And
he wasn't in prison.
He wasn't in prison. And he did that for a long time. We never knew about it. Somebody got mad at him and told about it. So Donald Trump knows all of that. Donald Trump knows he's standing in the line of fire. Somebody is going to make an attempt on his life. He knows all of this, but he got his people around him. That's why he don't spend all that time in the White House. He got his own retreat. But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. we are looking at a possible, ain't no possible, if these oligarchs, if this republic, the people that run this hidden part of the country, if something happens to Donald Trump, if they assassinate Donald Trump, don't you know it's going to be a second civil war right here in this country? Because he is the darling of the Confederate. And they got a lot of guns. And they're not giving up their guns to the government. So if anything like that happens to Donald Trump, there will be a fight that might tear the country up again. I know you're going to say, man, you got to be crazy. Ain't nobody went to fight. Look, when they killed Kennedy, he was assassinated in the South. They took down an enemy of the South. Isn't that amazing? They didn't care nothing about that Northerner. But he was assassinated in the South, and that has never meant anything to us.
Nope.
That was strategic. Now, they have said, they meaning the newspaper people, the commentators have said, well, they have talked about Donald Trump running for a second term. What if he doesn't run for a second term? Is he going to take his followers out of the Republican Party? Is he going to start a new party? Is he going to call for insurrection? Oh, they're talking about it. They didn't kind of stop now because they pushing, let's impeach him. They're trying to figure out a way to get rid of the Trumpski, the Trumpster, without having an out-and-out revolution in this country. We need to be thinking about that. We need to do some serious thought about that because they're going to blame us. Who else they going to blame? After the Civil War and the black folks were no longer slaves, what happened to the former slaves? What happened to them? And then when the Klan came up and said, let's kill them, let's put them back on the farm, there was no Ku Klux Klan after the war. When they freed the slaves, they said, oh, boy, where you going? You ain't going nowhere. Get your behind back out there on that farm. And the people that were black senators, they killed some of them. And we don't want to talk about that, though, do we? Mm-hmm. They sure didn't retire. They sure didn't retire from the Senate. Yeah, they retired all right.
Yeah.
Out there in that graveyard. And so there's going to be a fight. And we need to be protecting ourselves with our own food, with our own neighborhood like we had them in the past, own communities. So we need to think about the reaction to this stuff that's going on because it's going to be a fallout. And if they can't get rid of him if they can't get rid of President Trump through the so-called impeachment process, then they're going to go to their old true gangster form. Shoot him out of there. Hey, they killed Kennedy. They made an attempted assassination on Gerald Ford right when he was president. They shot Reagan, and he shut up. That was an attempted assassination against him. So it ain't like they don't shoot people. They don't shoot presidents in this country. Abraham Lincoln and John Kennedy were not the only presidents assassinated. Let's take some calls.
I believe they got more sophisticated now. He probably end up having cancer.
I doubt it. Cancer, he might. Caller, you on there?
Yes. I want to go back to you were saying and verify what you were saying about the police and drugs in our community. On my street, there's a drug house that runs 24 hours. The neighbors have been calling for a year for them to shut this drug house down. The drugs in our community is a tactic to move us out of here and to destroy a whole community. That is a policy of the mayor and the chief of police. If you call that dope, they'll hold the noise down for a while, but then they'll start back up. You're right. The police is a part of the tactic to destroy the black community in the neighborhoods because they're not downtown. You got a police in every alley down there with our tax money. So you're right. Now we got to organize against that. When I say organize, I ask you all, do you ever remember going to an activist movement and they say, let's figure out how we're going to leaflet and the common people all over the city, let's see how we're going to organize them, the discontentment, because we know they're discontented. I bet you ain't never went to a meeting in the last 20-something years when that discussion was going. Without that discussion, there is no effort to organize the masses of people. And that was done, you all, through a policy of the corporation that pays these activists, 501c3 activists, not to do it, but they pretend that they are doing something. One activist is so ridiculous, they went to a meeting of appointees. When I appoint you to do something for me. Well, they had appointees was going to take $800-something million and reform the school and restructure the school system. The mother of all education, Helen Moore, went there to protest to the appointee, and they walked out on it. It's just silly. And so these are the silly things seemingly the activists are doing, but they are put up to do it to hold back a real movement. We must develop a means of communication all over this community so we can organize the masses. And we need to talk about black business. Is it viable to have black business, to open up black business, and you don't have a disposable income in the business? I hear somebody keep talking about black business.
Okay, that'll be another discussion. That'll be another discussion. Thanks a lot. We got to take some of these other callers. Caller, you on the line. Hello, caller. Go ahead.
How you doing?
I'm all right. Yourself? Go ahead.
Yeah. Now, what you think about these? What do you think about these albinos that got these restaurants and coming outside killing the brother for no reason? What's your opinion towards that?
They did what outside? Say that again. Repeat yourself. Hello? Oh, he's off. But did you hear what he said?
Oh, that's the one you was talking about earlier.
That's a different one. The restaurant owner.
That's a different one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's target practice on black folks. It's target practice on us. Hey, not only have them locked up, have them deported. And the way, look, I said it, I'm going to say it again. These people are here illegally. They are doing all kind of illegal stuff. That start with their brother. He got a brother, somebody in a gas station business, in a party store. They're selling loose cigarettes. They're selling drugs out of there. They're selling outdated meat, outdated groceries and baby food and all that kind of stuff. All this stuff they cannot sell outdated. Call the agricultural department. Even at the gas station, you have to call the state agriculture department to have them come out there and check your pumps. Check those pumps. Because they're charging us, but we're getting less gas. And the people will come out there from the state and check those gas stations.
Yeah. You
got to call them. You got to complain about them. So at the gas station, you call the state agriculture department for the pumps. You call the ATF for the loose cigarettes. Now, who you call for the dope? The DTA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, DEA.
Yeah.
Because the city of Detroit ain't going to do nothing too much to them. Oh, and you call the immigration authorities and complain about it, and they will deport them. ISIS, they call them ISIS, don't they?
ISIS, yeah.
Yeah, they right downtown. They right downtown on Jefferson, just west of, what street is that?
What you talking about? That
Connors.
immigration department?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right at Connors. They right there. So you got 4 places to call, and that's what we should start doing. If they see their cousins and uncles and brothers and sisters being shipped out, and they're going to lock them up. They'll have them in jail 2 or 3 years. They're not coming back out.
Mm-mm.
And with the Trump sweep, oh, they're gone. They're gone. That's what we got to do. We got to put the government on them. Carla, you on there?
Yeah, how y'all doing?
Okay,
Right,
and yourself?
how you?
All right. You know, I agree with we need to the guy need to go to jail and all that, but it ain't nothing but a big show with a lot of these reverends going out there because when someone else kill us, because when we kill ourselves, you don't hear none of this of like the little kid just got shot yesterday or day before, a 3-year-old. You know, I don't hear nothing on that. A black kid, you know, got shot, a little baby. When my daughter got shot, only person come out is Minister Malik. Well, that was one of them, and another reverend. None of them other reverends came out there. My daughter got killed, and because it was a black man, they killed her. So I'm so tired of this bull crap. Every time somebody else kill her, we'll come out in numbers because the TV shows go be out there because it's new that another race killed another race. But when we killing each other, you don't get all these people out there and all this old big publicity stuff. My daughter got shot in the back of the head for backing out of a parking space. None of these Negroes came out and marched with me and Mr. Malik like that. So so I'm sick and tired every time somebody else kill us, then we got to make big noise. But when we kill each other, they make little noise. Nobody came to the court days for my daughter. I sent out texts and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But all of a sudden, when somebody else kill us, we out there screaming out loud what we got to do. Shut the gas station down. You shut it down, what you going to put in place of it? They ain't going to do nothing but go down the street to his cousin gas station. You going to put something there when you close it down? While we sitting up here talking about close everything down, what we putting in the place of it? Ain't nobody putting nothing in the place of it. You know what I'm saying? When we kill each other, we should stop trying to kill each other. Then maybe we'll get more respect. People don't respect us because we don't respect ourselves. So let's call it like it really is. I'm not gonna put no sugar on. If we do dumb stuff to each other and other people see that, you get the blacks to go behind the gas station counter and make them feel big because the other nationalities let them come back there and then look down on us and things. We got to stop all that. Let's start from the top and work ourselves down and start with us to start loving ourselves and stop doing stupid stuff to each other over stupid stuff. That's my point. Thank you for taking my call.
Well, holy. Well, he's gone. Hey, well, Carl, I'm sorry for the loss of your daughter, but what happened? I mean, they weren't shooting at her. She was in the way of what?
Yes, they was. No. She backed out of the parking space the same time the black guy backed out. He got mad. One of the girls in the car called her a B, and she was driving off. They say my daughter called her a B back and drove off. And the guy took it up on himself, shot the back of her car 5 times and shot her in the brain. And none of them preachers all up at that gas station up on 6 Mile and Southfield came out, but they called and talking about come out. And I marched with Minister Malik. He came out. I marched with Bullock. Bullock didn't come out. Nobody came out. None of them came out. She won but 27, my only daughter. So I'm tired of hearing all that going crazy when somebody else kill us, but when we kill ourselves, we low key. Oh, we gonna come out for a little bit, then move on. You know what I'm saying? That's bull crap, man. I'm tired of that. I done marched with other people when they got shot, but when my daughter got shot, like I said, Minister Malik came out and still call me to this day. You know what I'm saying? So they can say what they want about that man. she sent motorcycle people over there for her funeral and everything. So all these old fake prophets that when the TV come out and things for publicity is full of crap. Don't give me that old spiritual stuff. I don't want to hear that. Because you either going to be will do it with us all or you ain't going to do it at all. All this old sometime and stuff, man. And if they don't like what I'm saying, man, I don't even give a darn. Because they don't know me. So they can't say nothing about me besides what I'm saying is true. And the truth hurts. We do that dancing for the white folks and stuff, and he give us money and stuff, and that's why the city in the shape is in now. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're right. You're right about that.
So that's what happened. She backed out of parking space the same time the guy, and he got mad. The girl called him a beast. She was finna get out of the car and go towards my daughter's car. My daughter drove on off. He wanted to be a big shot and shoot a, you know what I'm saying, shoot a car 5 or 6 times, shot her in the back of the head.
Wow.
They caught the guy, but still, did none of these big old ministers come out for that?
I hear you.
Because it was a black on black crime.
I hear you.
Now I'm against different nationality killing us. I'm for that, but don't make a big scene like y'all all in when somebody else kill us. We should be fighting to stop to kill ourselves from killing ourselves. If we gonna do it, we got to start in our own household and stop killing each other and support each other.
Thank you for that, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you for taking my call.
He's absolutely right. He's 100% right. We got to stop killing each other. And most of these guys are high on drugs. They are haters of their own self. They smoking them blunts, the drugs, the different stuff. And we say it all the time on this show. Don't vote for the marijuana. Don't vote for a bigger problem. We're going to vote to continue this insanity among ourselves. And I don't see how, what made that guy so big that he going to shoot somebody, especially a woman, for calling them a name, and that's the way we talk to each other. You know?
Ridiculous.
Huh? I mean, I don't even think the woman, I wasn't there, but I'm going to just say it like it is. You walk anywhere, you get on the bus, you standing in line, folks come up to each other, women, especially them young women, they come up to each other, hey, B, how you doing? Hey, girl, yeah, B, this is my friend. Hold on, come on over here. How you B's doing? Oh, come on. Now all of a sudden somebody going to decide to get mad over that? That's crazy. And the listeners know when you hear black women now, young teenagers, that's what they say. That's the name they call themselves every day, every other day. I didn't say everybody, but it's too much of that going on.
Yeah, you're right about
and then
that.
for somebody to, you called me a name and you gonna shoot somebody over that? That guy was insane.
Well, he need to be locked up.
No, he need to be, yeah, he do. He need to be in jail for the rest of his life for that kind of insanity. Let's take another call. Caller, you on there.
Morning again, Brother Hassan, Brother Carl.
Morning.
You know, Brother Carl, you're absolutely right, and the previous caller is absolutely right what he was saying. But that goes back to self-hatred and not having a knowledge of self. And we need to get a knowledge of ourselves, and so we can stop all this self-hatred. It ain't gonna change till we change. And you know, brother Carl, you mentioned about Donald Trump. If he should be assassinated, you're absolutely right. If they make the mistake and assassinate that man, like everybody's calling for, you will see bloodshed or blood up to the horse's bridle in this country. And like you say, we will be the number one pheasants that will be being shot in America if Donald Trump is assassinated.
That's
he
correct.
has a lot of followers, and most of them are on the police force.
Right. We got to go, brother. Okay, you too. We down on time, ladies and gentlemen. We got to go. But the funeral for Derek Roberts is this Saturday. May the 26th, 1 p.m. in Fellowship Chapel, 7707 West Grand Boulevard. I'm your host, Tassan Aline.
Co-host Carl Williams.
And we're here every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, 9 o'clock. We start at 9 to 10, and sometimes 10:30. And we'll see you next week. Peace.